So watching a lot of the conversations online, I'm watching the forum where people are talking about what's happening in the market. They've got one guy like to point to, and they like to ask me, "What do you think is going to happen?" Looking for predictions. Like, guys, I don't, I've not made a business out of guessing, and the crystal ball doesn't exist. But it's like, well, but if you had one, what would you think? And it's just kind of crazy to see how they just need somebody to give them something. Everybody wants somebody to be able to tell them, what do you think is going to happen? When should I wait? When should I play my card? Guys, be playing your cards all the damn time. It's it's crazy to me to think that you don't have just one shot in the market. Just stay in the market. Keep buying, keep moving. Look at the deals themselves. The deals will make themselves make sense regardless of the interest rates, regardless of what's happening in the market everywhere else. You have to look at individual deals. Okay, can I make this work? Is my tenant good chance the tenant's going to pay for it? Am I buying this just strictly based on cash flow on a pro forma? If that's what it is, if you need to sit here and wrench on an interest rate to make the deal make sense, walk away from the freaking deal, guys. Seriously, call me. Let's talk about this. Just go to aaronchapman.com, book an appointment, email me. Info at aaronchapman.com, info at aaronchapman.com. Bree will set up a time to talk. You talk to myself or one of our key staff members. We need you to understand the deals themselves are what make it work, not what's happening in the market with interest rates. There's deals everywhere, but you guys just know who to work with and where to look. It's not just pulling up some sort of site and searching for houses for sale. You've got to talk to specific people. We're trying to connect ourselves with everybody. Now, does that mean everybody's not going to make a mistake and hand a deal to you that's going to not pencil quite right? I've got a lot of people right now calling me and say, hey, some things just didn't pencil on some stuff I looked at. But then there's a lot of people who overlooked signs. There's security measures you can put in place to ensure things are going to work the way they're supposed to. But sometimes taking a person's word for it is a big risk. So we want to talk to you through all the things we're learning on all those scenarios where people have stepped in a place where it's causing them some pain. Now they're going to have to spend some money to get out of it. I've personally been in the spot. I bought something in Florida, supposed to be a 180-day build. It went 2.5 freaking years. The cost went up significantly from what I should have paid. And then the value went down significantly because of the things that were happening in that specific that little market. It cost me over $200,000 to get squared up. It happens to all of us because I trusted somebody they'd stay on it. And they didn't stay on it, but then I can't go out there and just start beating the person. If we could go back a few decades, yeah, I probably could have worked that son bitch over and made him do his damn job, hold his freaking face into the damn concrete and get that job done. You can't do that anymore, right? And you can't incentivize people to get shit done they're supposed to get done. So there's other ways we can go about this. We'll have to talk about that spitball. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the market. Things are starting to steam out a bit on this run. There's always going to be this run. We looked at this last time, how if we stretch this back, I'm sorry, guys, I'm going to stretch this back a little bit. We're going to look at things back in history. And that's the best we can do is get some historical data on this. All right, we're going to go back. We're going to look at 2022, the very end of 2022. So I need to do is I need to bring this down a little bit more so we can see it all. So the end of 2022, we had quantitative tightening come down. It stopped, found its floor, worked its way up to the top of this range the day they announced quantitative easing. This is that full trading day, right? Pulled back down, hit to the bottom of that day's announcement of the trading, back down to the top of it, back down to the bottom of it. And now we're heading towards the top of it. Now we're probably going to steam out here, is what it looks like. And I'm going to get rid of these downward channels because they don't really mean anything anymore because we're past those. Those channels are what we look at, just kind of see where it was going to bottom out at. We've used those channels already, done with the channels. So getting rid of those, taking those out of the thing. Now, all these will stay. These marks here, we've got marks that have to do with floors and ceilings. I'm going to move this one here because that was also a channel that, actually, I might leave them in there. So I'll leave these green ones in there because we'll go back in there and trade in that range again for a while. But this was lowered the rates. Fed lowered the rates. Fed lowered the rates. Look, it just kept kicking it down. So don't get excited about the Fed lowering the rates. Them staying still right now has probably helped us a bit. We are steaming out today. So we're going to zoom in on this so you can see. We did this run. We didn't make it to the top of the channel of the trading day for the quantitative easing. We broke through it. Non-farm pay, the payrolls is what pushed this, right? And I believe there's some cooking of those books when it comes to payroll. So that's what pushing this up, but that's steaming out. The problem is people are trying to look at this payrolls as some data that's going to just really rocket the market up. We can see enough happening in the economy in other places that it's not enough to make the payrolls push us that far. Payrolls will push it, but there's other things that make the value of the security not worth investing more money in. So that's the problem. People think, oh, well, the payroll situation is doing its due. They're going to see these rates go down, down, down. There's not enough money out there to incentivize people to invest more into the mortgage-backed securities. We're just not going to get much lower. That's my opinion. I could be freaking wrong. There could be some major quantitative thing, easing thing going on in the background that can push it, but it would take capital of a monster magnitude, right? We had $16 trillion got injected into the market from 2009 all up until 2021 between $8 trillion from the Fed, another $8 trillion from other sources. That's what brought our rates down. That's not what's happening today. Now, we also know there's $100 trillion being moved around the market all day long. Now, moved to different things all the time. That was something that Jamie Dimon talked about. A lot of interesting things going on there, but just don't think payroll is what's going to be the driver. It's just not, but it's the biggest mover of it. We've also seen all these revisions from past payroll numbers that think everybody's like, well, why is that not making a big difference? Why is that revision not impacting things? Well, there's other data that we've had since that revision a couple of months ago to show that other things have happened in the economy and not make that such a big damn deal. So that's my assessment. My assessment could be wrong, but I think that we're guys just be in the market, look at the deal, lock on it, move on it, go forward. Don't sit here and just tunnel vision on the rates and, oh, what's going on with the rates? The rates have got to get somewhere where we can make this thing work. We can't make a deal work without the rates. If you can't make a deal without the rates, then you really aren't much of a real estate investor. You've got to find the deals. Don't just sit back and wait for it to land in your lap and the interest rates all of a sudden just come down and everything works. It doesn't work that way. You got to be more aggressive on what you do. You got to build your team. You got to stick with your team, not shopping all over the place, finding somebody, stick with a freaking team and build it out. Appreciate you guys. I will talk to you guys on Friday.